and I'm gonna see. We're like, guys, I'm gonna set this up a little bit because I've been giving Steve shit now for about a month since he sent me the track for his song. So we're actually gonna debut the new intro song for the show right now, as he's driving in his hands-free car. Yeah, exactly. Hey, keep your hands on 10 and 2, buddy.
I don't need to. The car's doing a terrific job.
You're kind of an amazing musician, dude.
Put a little more effort into it this time around, okay?
I guess.
So we can start talking. You can turn down the volume. You know, it's like a real intro.
Oh,
It's
you want
good.
to fade it in and out? Wait,
I mean, aren't you planning? It's a 3-minute intro. It's not going to last that long.
I mean, I don't know. I'll fade it out. Let's see if it works. Oh, it's not working. I don't know how to do it. Oh, man. Here, I'll fade it out by hand. I'll be like an old DJ. It wasn't smooth, but it worked.
So everyone watching, if you want your own theme song, it only takes 5 years and a lazy assistant, and then you can have your own theme song.
That's right. You get your own theme song. Guys, it is 5 o'clock. It is after 5 o'clock because we were talking shop before we jumped on. Chris Peshek, I'm a real estate broker with Peshek Properties, my own family company outside of Austin, Texas, between Austin and Dripping Springs. That guy is Stevie Ray Babcock. I don't know where he came from. Guitarist and music maker extraordinaire, mortgage loan originator from Lago Vista, Texas, which is just outside of Austin as well. And dude, you know, before we jump into this, I mean, I think you may have some news that you want to share with people.
I do have some news.
Because I keep introducing you as mortgage loan originator extraordinaire, which you still are.
I am. However, I have made a career shift, and I am now selling ancient coins and gold and silver bullion. And I'm telling you, it is a blast. I've had more fun selling this stuff and buying it too, by the way, than I ever have in mortgage. And I really enjoy helping people. You know, I noticed that while I'm in the office and others are selling houses or doing mortgages for people, they all look at the houses. Oh, look at the front door. Oh, look at the windows. Oh, it's so good. I don't care. I don't care at all. I've never cared about the house. I've always cared about the people and the numbers. I don't care about the house. I couldn't care at all. And I've never looked at any pictures on the house. I tried to once. I just couldn't care. And now I'm doing these ancient coins and gold bullion, and man, I sold somebody a Alexander the Great coin, gold coin, that was minted while Alexander the Great was still alive.
Okay.
We're talking 2,300 plus years ago. What was that?
Yeah, that's kind of nuts.
Oh, it was crazy. I got to hold that thing in my hands. You talk about holding history. It's unbelievable. And then they have Roman coins that are just as valuable, but I also have them at like $200, where you can like hold history for cheap. You know, maybe not cheap, but it's not going to cost you the 27 grand the other coin cost. You know, so it's
you
fun.
Can go buy
it's really
a new
fun.
phone for $800 or buy a Roman coin for $2.
You know, I don't think you're going to go and buy these coins if you're struggling for money right now. But you know, in terms of holding gold or holding history, it's fascinatingly fun.
That's cool. So I'm going to ask the question that everybody has, like, is a historical gold coin worth more than the weight of the gold?
You want to hear something even funnier than that? It almost has no tie-in to the price of gold.
Okay, that's funny.
So
It's
the price
all-
of gold could go cut in half, and that ancient coin I just sold would probably be worth exactly the same amount of money. Because you would never buy a 2,600-year-old coin and decide you were going to melt it down for its value of gold.
That's fair.
Right?
Unless gold went through the roof. But,
I can tell everyone watching that would be a poor decision. Don't do that. If you want to do that, I have other coins for you that would cost close to the melt value, and you can melt them away all you want. But you know, and we got plenty of those. But no, you'd never do that with an ancient coin. You buy ancient coins to hold history. You know.
That's cool. That's cool. Anyway, guy, off on a little bit of a tangent there. because Steve is still a mortgage loan originator. The whole point behind the show is we get together and we talk a little bit about what's going on in real estate, what's going on in mortgages, economics, and everything else. And we had this discussion. So we usually have some adult beverage because it's after hours real estate, right?
Yeah.
And I think we've established that even if it's a driverless car, you really can't drink a tasty beverage.
I can see how that might change though, because this car is doing such a great job. Watch, this is the one time it doesn't do a good job, but
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
it's doing such a great job.
We're going to see you flipping. Yes.
I can see, given another 5 or 10 years, that we might be able to have a drink on the way home from work like we used to a long time ago without risking others' lives. But yeah, man, I also wanted to, shout out when I'm right, which isn't super often.
Here,
but
on that note, go ahead. On that note, I'll just cue this up.
Oh, good. You know what? I shouldn't get ahead of myself because I don't know what you have for today.
Fine. It's completely fine. Go ahead. You were right. Go ahead.
I sent you something. What was it? Monday?
Monday.
It was Friday, I think, something like that. Today's Monday. About how basically the Fed is going to cut rates. They've announced not they're going to, but that they're going to.
Yep.
And we basically called it in the last show or two. That they'd be doing it in I said 2 or 3 months. The show before that, I said it looked like it could be next month.
Right.
And then I got a little less certain, but it's right now. It's happening. So.
Yep. And this is what I had queued up. And what exactly did that do to interest rates? Oh, it dropped a whole 0.05%. Because again, if you pay attention to the show, you already know that the interest rates have been priced in already. But to be fair, it did go down this morning. It was down. I'm sorry, on Friday after the Powell's talk, it went down 0.1%. But today it bounced back up 0.02. So yeah, whatever. Interest rates are steady. It's already been priced in.
The article I'd sent to you was that the headline, at least, was that the Fed announces that they may do a rate cut and the market adjusts. Right, and the whole point was that they adjust, like you just said, before the actual news happens. Right, the news of a possible cut means we're possibly going to lower stuff right now. So,
yeah,
there you go.
Exactly. So, yeah, guys, mortgage rates, if you're paying attention, is still in the same band. I guess we're a little bit lower. This is the lowest point this year, and the lowest point since last August. But they're still in that same band that we've been in for 2 years. And I don't know. They're likely to drop a little bit towards the end of the year, I think. But it's not going to be significant. We might see another, 0.1%, 0.2%, possibly.
It's actually pretty important to talk about something else.
What's that?
That I wouldn't have talked about before I'd made the switch officially. But the year is 1933.
Okay.
Your United States government has told you that owning gold is now illegal. You must sell it back to them. Or if they find you with it, it's up to a $10,000 fine or a year in jail. Now imagine how much money that is back in 1933, okay?
Yeah.
So you, being a good citizen, go and turn in all your gold bullion, okay? And they give you a fair market value at the time for that gold of $20.36 per ounce of gold.
Per ounce, yep.
And then now the year is 1934, okay? And all the citizens that follow the laws have turned in their gold. It's all been confiscated. And what does the government do? They revalue. That's right. They revalue the gold at $35 an ounce. So if you had sold it the year prior for $20 and change an ounce, you're probably not very happy that the gold was then revalued at $35 an ounce.
75% higher. Because why not? When you hold all the gold, revalue it.
And then I'll tell you, there's all these articles about how when the gold was revalued, inflation didn't happen, but that's BS. If you actually go and look back at the price of food, it went up almost 70% that first year, and kept going. And long story short is when you revalue gold, when it's tied into your monetary system, like it was back then, and it still was, despite them confiscating the gold, it was still tied in. And revaluing it allowed the Fed to print more money back at the time. They didn't have the ability to print unlimited like they can today. Back then, it had to be tied into the gold standard. Yeah. And so they had to revalue the gold to allow them to print more money. All right. Well, why is this important? Why am I talking about this thing that happened almost 100 years ago? because the Fed just put out a report last week about how revaluing money how it would look, the multiple ways it could be done, the multiple ways it had been done in the last century through other countries, and what their recommendation was moving forward. All right, ask me the last time they did that.
When's the
So,
last time they did that, Steve?
not recently. In fact, I think it was closer to 2008 when they even mentioned it.
Yeah,
And you remember 2008 was not a time of economic strength.
that's right.
So um, I mentioned this in my office, and they laughed and said, "Yeah, we've been hearing that for 30 years," but they haven't been hearing it with the Fed making a plan for it and the current president talking about how much of a great idea it is. Now, what do you think would happen if they revalued gold today?
Well, I mean, same thing that happened when they did it in the 30s.
Okay, but we're not tied to the gold standard today like we were in the 30s.
Doesn't matter. They bought it all back. We weren't tied to the gold standard then. When the government possesses everything.
And you know the worst part is that when they confiscated all that gold, they melted it down. Remember I just told you about all the coins and how much value they'd have?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, well, they melted it down. And where do you think they put that gold?
Well, I don't know. They were going to do an inventory
You know where they put it.
Fort Knox to see if it was
They
there.
put it. They created and put it in Fort Knox. They created Fort Knox for taking all of the confiscated gold and storing it someplace after they melted down all of those coins.
Yep.
And long story short is that if they did that today, we could have a massive inflationary impact. It'd be the beginning of the end for the dollar. And I think they'd be pushing crypto a lot.
Yeah, and that's what I kind of keep an eye on is how much is that being pushed. I guess we'll see, man. I guess we'll see. For those of you that were hooked in by my stellar thumbnail skills, did you see the thumbnail?
It was epic. Yeah, it was pretty good.
It was awesome. From time to time, which is every time, we like to share the bad things that realtors do on this show. And so I'm going to share some of the bad things that realtors have been up to recently. Let's start in Arizona. Attorney General sues a duo behind an alleged real estate scam targeting elderly homeowners. Guys, this has been happening a lot. This is not stealing deeds or deed fraud or anything like that. This is nastier. Arizona Attorney General Chris May says two people took advantage of people taking their entire work lives to buy a house, operating a predatory real estate operation that targeted elderly Arizonans in financial distress. On Monday, the AG announced a new lawsuit against Edward Trenton Albarracin, aka Trenton Edwards, and Gretchen Marie Zamjan, Gretchen Edwards, along with more than 50 shell companies they reportedly control. The lawsuit alleges that the defendants operated under misleading names like Hands with Hope and advertised themselves as professionals who could save homeowners from foreclosure. This is about more than property. It's about dignity, security, and the right for Arizonans to live safely in their homes without being deceived, May said. We believe that there are at a minimum hundreds of victims and hundreds of homes. The number could end up being higher. Instead of helping homeowners in need, the duo duped them into signing over the deeds to their homes, according to the complaint. The defendants told homeowners they could bring their mortgages up to date so they could stay in their homes. They distributed flyers saying, "I am not here to buy your house." And that was true. They were there to steal them, not buy them. All the homeowners
How honest of them.
How honest. All the homeowners needed to do to avoid foreclosure was temporarily transfer the deed into a trust. Instead, those deeds were allegedly transferred into shell LLCs, such as Luco Family Trust LLC, which were controlled by Albarracin. He signed the deeds on behalf of the company, while Zamjan notarized the transactions illegally. According to the lawsuit, the victims were then misled and pressured into filing false bankruptcy cases, which prolong the scam. Because, if it's in bankruptcy, that ties it up for months, right?
Well, so far you've been describing a subject to purchase where an investor comes in, you deed everything over to them, and then they find somebody this honestly starts off as something that's not a scam. So
Well,
they've taken a scam and they've taken an investment strategy and turned it into a scam. So for
correct.
anyone calling, they might think they're doing this investment strategy, and
Right.
that's even
No,
worse.
well, and I'm glad you brought that up because I mean, let's talk about that a little bit because if anybody's watching is in threat of foreclosure or something like that, um, subject to is it's something that's getting a lot of play on a lot of forums, bigger pockets, stuff like that. There's probably multiple entire groups that like everything they do are subject to loans. They call them sub twos. Um, if you are doing anything like that, make sure you have a real estate attorney. And I
Yeah.
know that if you're at, like potentially losing your house, the thought of paying a real estate attorney can seem really daunting. Do it anyway. Please do it anyway, because I understand them and I still would not get involved without a real estate attorney.
Well, you're talking about the buyers. If you're a seller trying to
No,
avoid
no, no, no,
bankruptcy,
the
you can't
seller.
avoid an attorney.
What's that?
I said, if you're a seller trying to avoid bankruptcy, it's not like you can, drop $3,000 on a real estate attorney.
Find a way to do it.
Find
Don't
a way to do it.
I'm serious, dude. Think about it. Like somebody comes and they're like, here, sign these documents, and they're written by an attorney, and it's probably 30 pages long, and you don't know your butt from your elbow. And I mean, like that's being mean about it. But guys, 95 probably plus% of people in this country do not need to be looking on chat gpt for attorney help when it comes to real estate transactions. Holy hell, I've seen
No.
it firsthand. I've seen people get in trouble going to chat trying to figure out legalese in contracts. Don't do it. For the love of God, don't do it. Figure out a way to go to the buyer and say, hey, by the way, I need to hire an attorney. I don't have any money. It's going to cost me $3,000. Put it into the deal.
Wow. I'll tell you, I don't see how in that situation when they're selling, but I don't disagree with you. It's just, when you're desperate, that's when people prey on you,
Yeah. Well, and the thing
unfortunately.
is all of this stuff, if you're doing anything that is outside of the bounds of what I'll call a quote unquote normal real estate transaction, which is I go to Chris, I would like to either buy or sell a home or an investment, whatever. Okay, if you are buying, you will go to Steve and you will get pre approved for a loan. And we will go and find this house and we will do a contract for this house and we will close this in a title company, quote unquote standard transaction, right? If you're doing anything outside of that, everything is negotiable. Not everything is negotiable in a standard real estate contract, but if you're outside of that, everything is negotiable. So if you don't
Literally
have the
everything.
money to do it, yeah, if you don't have the money to do it, tell the buyer to pay for the fee for you going to get an attorney to review everything. I mean, it's going to
Now,
cost
do you
you a
think these
couple
guys would pay?
grand. What's that?
You think these guys would pay for an attorney for their victims?
I mean, if it's in a contract and you here's the deal, right? If it's in a contract and you send it to an attorney to review and it's like, nope, this is a bad contract, and the attorney's like, I don't have to take it all the way through. It's going to cost you 500, not 2,000, but you didn't lose your
Yeah.
ass when they took your house from you. I mean, I know it's hard, but for God, figure out a way to do it.
You're not
Because
wrong.
this is this is the bad part of it, right? These are two freaking real estate agents that are doing this to people. There are shitty people in every walk of life. I mean, there just are. And going after the elderly there's a special ring of hell for that. Um,
Did you hear about the kid in God, where was it? I think it was Seattle, during the 2009 or 2008, something like that.
oh, that's not him. Never mind.
There was
No.
this there was this lender that uh, preyed on an elderly woman, a widowed elderly woman, and refinanced her into a really bad loan that she didn't need to be in. And I'm pretty sure he was sued. He lost the lawsuit, But this sweet old little lady didn't have any money. She had to have the community come together to hire the lawyer. They came together and paid her house off for her. Like, we're talking the whole community got together. And then 2 weeks later, they found that lender's body floating down the water in the river over there.
Ooh, frontier justice. Wow.
These things do happen, unfortunately.
Well, that escalated quickly. You know what, though?
That's not motivation to do the right thing, right?
I mean, man, I'm going to tell you. And I mean, look, you just brought up a good point going back to my plea for you to hire an attorney. I mean, I know it's embarrassing and stuff, but do a damn what are the things called where people donate money online?
GoFundMe.
GoFundMe. Do a GoFundMe. Tell people, you know what? I got in a bad way. I lost my freaking job. I'm about to lose my house. Would you mind donating to my legal fund so I can so I can make sure that I don't get taken?
I wonder how
I mean,
successful that would actually be.
I'm going to tell you what, if I saw that, I would donate to it. I mean, I would donate to that more than I donate to. Anyway, I'm going to get myself in trouble if I talk too much about that. But I mean, seriously. And I know it's hard on GoFundMe. You can't tell what's a scam and what's not. I get it. But I'd donate 25 or 30 bucks to somebody's legal fund so they don't get screwed.
There's so many things I want to say about GoFundMe, but all of it is either political or inappropriate, so I'm just not going to say it.
I know the issues with GoFundMe. I get it. But again, I'm trying to give people an option to go hire an attorney. Anyway, throw yourself on the mercy of the attorney. Tell them, hell, I'll pay you if I can get this deal figured out. I mean, I don't know. There's some good attorneys out there that would do that. I think, maybe, I hope.
I don't know, man.
Oh, by the way, guys, this is an interactive show. Please, if you've got comments, drop them in. But this is called leading up to, because that thumbnail had a very, very legitimate reason for me doing that. Are you ready for this? Can you give me a drum roll? Can you give me a drum roll? This reminds me of Christmas Vacation. All right, here we go. Luxury real estate agent charged for allegedly biting a 7-year-old at a concert.
I'm sorry. Biting a 7-year-old?
This is one of the best headlines I've seen since we've been doing the show.
I got to know more.
Shall we dive in? That's a clickbait headline. I'm not going to lie, which is why I dropped that thumbnail. So if you're here because of the thumbnail, thank you. Here we go. A prominent Manhattan luxury real estate agent, not just any real estate agent, is facing assault charges after being accused of biting a 7-year-old girl during a scramble for a free T-shirt at a family-friendly beach concert in the Hamptons. Unravel that one for a second.
What a prick.
Gail Bomsey, 75, was arrested Tuesday. Do you think her teeth fell out in the kid's arm?
I mean, the dentures are strong.
Arrested Tuesday by East Hampton police and charged with third-degree assault and endangering a child following the incident at Tuesday's on Main beach concert series, according to police. Oh my gosh. The incident occurred when an event staffer tossed a T-shirt from a balcony, triggering a chaotic rush. Page 6 said that this is page 6 is reporting this. Witnesses reported seeing a woman kicking and punching kids while attempting to grab a free item. According to police reports, one child told authorities the woman grabbed her right arm and bit it, breaking the skin, leaving the youngster's arm bloody and swollen.
What in the hell?
The child's parents contacted the police, who initially searched the venue but didn't locate the suspect. Bonzi, through her attorney, strongly denies the allegations. Her attorney said Miss Bonzi is a 75-year-old grandmother who categorically denies these allegations. I like how they throw in she's a 75-year-old grandmother. Okay. McGuire claims his client was actually a victim during the incident, stating she was knocked to the ground in the chaos by a group of teenagers during the t-shirt toss, leaving her sore and injured. The attorney said Bonzi reported her concerns to event organizers the following day, received an apology with assurances that safety improvements would be made. The unfortunate episode could have been avoided with better event management. Blame it on somebody else. That's what attorneys are good at. Bonzi has established herself in New York's high-end real estate market, the Upper East Side social circles. She sold talk show host Geraldo Rivera's apartment for $4 million. Bradford Billett, CEO of the East Hampton Village Foundation, which organizes the Sunset Concert Series, defended the event's overall safety record and said that we condemn this isolated incident.
It's ridiculous.
So I pulled up another article.
I don't believe it. I'm sorry, I don't believe it.
Luxury agent denies biting the 7-year-old girl over a free T-shirt at the Hamptons.
I mean, how many 75-year-old women do you know that are violent, push over children and bite them? I would love to know if this woman had a record beforehand, because anyone with that kind of behavior would absolutely have a record at 75. And if she does not, then I think we would just dismiss this case if I were the judge. See you later.
Carolyn, who is one of our most devoted watchers, thank you, Carolyn. She said, but that sucks that she was really defending herself and now her career is ruined. That's true. Like, if she really was defending herself, and if you think about it from that perspective, what's a 75-year-old woman going to do? Like, what is her defense mechanism?
Like, the way it sounded to me was that the T-shirt was thrown near her and she got knocked on her ass. And as she went down, she went swinging, kind of thing. Like, just arms flailing around. That's what I'm seeing in my mind.
Yeah. And I'm thinking, like, this woman, she's a luxury realtor in New York, so she's probably got some jewelry on, so she might be able to scratch you.
Dude, probably got a 7-year-old drawing blood from a 75-year-old's fist means that 75-year-old's fist would be black and blue for like a month.
That's fair. That's fair.
I don't see this as real.
Her only defense mechanism may have just been biting. Like, if she's at the bottom of a pile, I don't know.
So she smacked some kid so hard that the kid's bleeding, and then she had time to also bite another. Where did she bite the kid?
I don't know. It says she grabbed the girl and bit her. No, I'm not saying that she hit him. I'm saying that would have been like, what are her defense mechanisms? She could have smashed him with a ring.
Watch, there's a video later, and we find out that as she was going down, her arm swung around to help break the fall and hit some girl in the mouth. You know what I mean? And I don't know. Or some girl did the same thing and hit the grandma in the mouth, and that they call that biting or something. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me, man. I'm liable to not believe this one.
And this goes back to what I was saying the other day. This is the 75-year-old grandmother, so obviously she updates her glamour shots about every 30 years also.
And that's her hair.
20, yeah, exactly. I'm trying to see if there's anything new in here. My gosh. Oh, she once listed a Park Avenue townhouse for $22 million. Isn't it funny how they dive in? That's what I wanted to do, though. I wanted to look at this title.
Okay, but mentioning how much money she makes.
Oh, of course.
And by cherry picking the biggest listing she has is an attack. That's a hit piece.
It is a complete hit piece.
So this is obviously a hit on her with a slanted view.
Well, and let's take into account, I don't know what page 6 is, but let's look at the recommended articles. It's talking about a porn star, Amanda Bynes, and some law school graduate who died after a CAT scan. Like, I don't know. So I would take all of this with a grain of salt.
We can move on to the next article, I think.
Yeah, exactly. She denies biting a 7-year-old over a free T-shirt, but what she doesn't deny is biting a 7-year-old. It could have been over ice cream. Like, it could have been over the 7-year-old, tried to steal her wine and she bit her. But she denies biting.
We find out later that the 7-year-old was trying to steal her dentures.
That's right, exactly. Yeah, like had her hand in her mouth and she just bit her.
That's awesome.
Oh, and I love the stock photo of somebody shooting a T-shirt onto a beach. That's awesome.
Well, that was not the vacation she was looking for. Certainly.
It's definitely not. Um,
That is a
I'm trying.
nightmare.
It's so like that's so wild. But you know what? At the
That's a
same
nightmare.
thing, she's also donated to Society Staple Central Park Conservancy, hosted the famed hat lunch. I have no idea what any of this is, and appeared in the New York Social Diary at a soiree. How do you pronounce that word? Soiree? Soiree.
It's one of those
Honoring,
events where you beat up children.
yeah, and bite them. Soiree honoring art darling Julian Schnabel. Um, the report says the event staffer tossed a T-shirt and that a woman was seen kicking and punching while trying to get her hands on the freebie.
I mean, again, how many 75-year-olds have you seen punching and kicking
Kicking
people?
and punching people.
Again, I'd be like, my hip, my knees, like it doesn't make any sense at all. I can't understand this article. It
I
doesn't,
mean,
I'm sorry.
look, I think she probably does Pilates or yoga, maybe. So
Yeah, she looks real butch, like she's just
yeah.
vicious and waiting to attack people, especially children. This doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry. I'm moving on from this one. This is fake news.
That might be my favorite one of all time. Um,
That is obnoxious.
oh man. Um, anyway, anything else new?
No, and I'm home now,
What
so I can stop driving and actually talk.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Yeah.
What are y'all seeing in your office from just a loan perspective?
Well, the leads have picked up quite a bit. There's more people interested in buying them before, but there's still. I say that, but then they all back out right now. So there's.
Funny,
It's not.
You see the article?
Did I what?
Did you see the article on the canceled contracts?
I did. I'm seeing that a lot too. So I'm not seeing actually people canceling contracts right now, but I am seeing them get approved, and then they see the numbers again for how much the home is going to cost, and they're like, forget it, we're just going to rent.
Yeah.
See a lot of that.
Which is kind of rough because they should be making that decision before they ever put a contract or an offer in.
Yeah. Yeah, the article that you saw was talking about people
awesome.
that are, people putting offers in and then jumping out. Hold on.
How many 70-year-olds not in
on
Rolling
the Rolling
Stones
Stones
wearing
with
leather
leather
pants?
pants? Also a good point.
That's
Probably not a lot of them, I'd say.
I mean, so she could be in a biker gang. So maybe she is a little biter. I don't know.
God, I'm thinking about dodgeball when they get all the wrong outfits, and then the real people come out and
God,
need their outfits. One of them was like a grandma, wasn't it?
oh my God, dude.
Some people do. Some people are looking for those.
Hey,
but no, I generally will agree with you.
Whatever. Look, I'm not here to judge anybody. I think Keanu Reeves said it best. I'm at the age when if you want to tell me 1 + 1 = 5, have a good day. Awesome.
I didn't hear that, but that's a funny quote.
You want to be in you want to be a 75-year-old in leather pants? Awesome. Have a good day. More
I've
power.
never worn leather pants. Ever.
I am not touching that. Stop. I'm not going to respond to that.
I hope that you don't. I'm just saying I have zero experience, so the idea of having it in the future is even less than the past.
By the way, audience, if y'all would like to respond to that and roast him,
please don't.
I will read your comments.
Wow, it's time for me to go. Gotta leave.
By the way, going back, if y'all don't know the article we're talking about, July had the highest number of canceled contracts since 2017, but that's when they started keeping records on it. So, the weird thing is I didn't really see that here, but San Antonio was one of the highest ones at over, God, I want to say it was close to 24% of the contracts canceled in San Antonio. And I believe the average or I believe the number in July was 15% of contracts canceled, and we're usually around 9 or 10, if I remember correctly.
What are you seeing?
I'm seeing more buyer activity on my listings. I'm not seeing that convert into deals necessarily.
It's like they're dipping their toes in again, but nobody's really ready to get all the way in.
Yeah, and I think they're dipping their toes in because people are talking about the Fed cutting interest rates, right? Like nothing gets people's interest up like, oh, the interest rates are going down.
Yeah,
And
they'll
that's
cut.
what they're doing.
They'll cut, and I'll get 5 or 6 calls within an hour, or maybe half a day.
Yeah.
You know, hey, I hear the rates are better now. You haven't been watching my show.
Man, and it is really interesting. We talk about it on the show all the time. It's really interesting what people hear, and what it does to their mentality and stuff. Like I'm thinking specifically about I've seen it mentioned from a couple of clients and potential clients that, oh, well, I heard that the Texas real estate market's still going to drop like another 20%. And I'm like, in what world does that make sense? I mean, hell, it's not even down 20% over the last 2 years.
You can't really, in the YouTube age that we live in, where people just get headlines, all the time, and that
People that have no effing clue what they're talking about, putting
this
out
month on the
information on
17th
YouTube.
at 10 a.m. terror will happen. Click here to see more.
Yeah,
That kind of stuff. It's just all clickbait.
it
It
is.
really is.
Well, I have learned, in case you guys don't know how YouTube operates, and I'm not saying anything bad about this, I'm all over YouTube. Not to this level, and I don't know this from personal experience, by the way. Um, for every 100,000 views a video gets, that's worth about $1,500 a month to a creator. So a creator can make something that they have no idea about, because in the age of AI, you can come up with scripts, you can verify and all this other stuff. And you can just put out clickbait stuff that's going to generate a lot of views and make a lot of money on YouTube. So, the housing market's going to fall another 30% in Austin, Texas. That's something that'll probably get a lot of clicks. It doesn't matter if it's going to happen or not. It doesn't matter if there's any logic behind it. It'll get a lot of clicks, and if it can get 100,000 views, whoever made that thing is going to make $1,500, and they can probably make that video in a day. So, yeah, that's kind of a frustrating part of all of this, right? Like, you and I try to educate people. It's not a good time for everybody to buy. It's not a bad time for anybody to buy. Or maybe it is. It could be a bad time for you to buy, but at least have an idea, as opposed to, oh, I saw this headline.
Yeah, and if you watch this show,
because of a free T-shirt, she bit him because the kid smacked her leather pants.
watch the seam.
That's right. You're gonna bust the seam.
If you watch the show and you ask questions, you'll get the best answers here, I'd say. We don't even know your face. We don't know you at all. We're just going to answer your question directly, and I don't know. I'm not making any money with my answer, but others who you might work with would.
Yeah.
So I do believe this is probably the best place to ask any questions like that.
I mean, I would think so. And now they can ask about gold, evidently.
That's right. They can.
I've been thinking about gold. Like, it's the reticular activating system, right? I'm talking to this guy over here, and I'm like, gold.
I'll tell you what's fun is when people bring in enough gold to where you've got 20, 30 gold pieces in front of you, and you have to stack them in piles of 5 or 10 or whatever. You got to count them.
Feel like you're at a casino with real gold.
Yes, and you have these stacked piles in front of you, and it occurred to me the other day. I was like, I bet you super rich people use gold coins, like $3,300 a coin kind of thing to do their gambling. I mean, it would make a lot of sense. But
if I was really rich, that would be fun. Like, because they make a different sound than a chip, right?
You have no idea. They're so heavy. And there's this special kind of anomaly with 22 karat gold coins. Or if you were to put them on your fingers, like resting on the top of your finger, right? And then you cling them together, they make this very distinct resonation, this distinct tone. And it rings out like a bell. And it does it for, until it stops ringing. I mean, it's loud, wow. It's long, it's really cool. You've never heard it before, guaranteed. Most
That's
people have
cool.
never heard the sound before, and it's really a pretty sound.
Can you okay? Can you tell us the story about the little old lady
Could you be more specific?
who came in to sell? I thought it was a little old lady, and she was carrying her gold in something kind of unique.
You know,
I didn't want to give the story away.
no, it's okay. I thought it was great, but people come in and one gold coin is worth roughly $3,400 right now. Let's just
Okay.
it's not exactly that, but that's pretty close. Okay, I'm rounding. And if you've got 10 of those, that's almost $35,000, $34,000, right? Okay, now if you've got
She was not carrying them in her leather pants.
uh, almost Carolyn. She had laid out socks and
Wait,
put all the
wait,
coins.
stop. You got to tell the whole story. Like, she came in, she didn't know she needed an appointment.
Well, I
Does
don't know
that
which
man
part of the story you
like,
liked the most.
it's this sweet lady, right? Who just,
See if she okay. So yes, she had no idea that you had to make an appointment, and she had a lot of money with her. And as I'm, I answer the door, and the reason we have it by appointment only is just multifaceted. But a lot of people will call in and say, "Hey, I've got a penny, and I know it's worth $1 million." And in their 30 years of doing the show or doing this, uh, uh, they've never had one person actually have a penny that's worth $1 million, right? So everybody thinks it's worth something, and then you send it in, and it's just not. Um, and so this woman says, "Well, I have some coins to sell." All right, what kind of coins? Gold coins. Great, come on in, right? So it's totally different. Cool, let's go, fine. So she comes in. I have no idea what it is, right? And of course, I'm going to make a small percentage on this. And she brings out $165,000 in gold coins. Okay, which actually is 168 is a lot of money. Okay, it was a lot of gold coins. And how did she bring them in? She had them wrapped up in a pair of socks. And her thought was, if somebody mugs me and my socks fall out of my bag, they're not going to be like, steal the socks. And I thought it was genius. I really thought it was really like, as long as it doesn't go clink clink, on the ground or something when
as
it
long as it
falls.
doesn't resonate with the 22 karat gold tone.
But it was great. It was really, really smart. She's like unfolding the socks, and these gold coins are dropping out. I mean, it was so funny. But I mean, dude, you're gonna carry around that much gold. You should hide it. You should conceal it somehow.
You should probably make an appointment so they can have security waiting for you, and you're not standing around outside of a gold depository.
Details, details, sir, details. But I took care of her. Was happy to help, and
Oh, I love that
she
story,
got her
dude.
money.
Oh man. All right, guys. So yeah, that's what we do on the show if you've never been around before. Now we're going to talk about gold and dirty socks and leather pants.
More dirty socks, probably.
Yeah,
Than gold.
more dirty
Details.
socks with $1 million pennies in them. Oh, my friend, I will see you Monday, guys. If you liked it, come around next Monday. We're here every day, every Monday at 5. Later, man.
See you Monday.